everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today I have an Inkwell press planner unboxing. I had just bought an Erin Condren, and I also bought one other planner that I will unbox for you when it gets here. But Inkwell Press announced their new disc-bound system, which is called Livewell 360, and I just had to try it out. I wanted to share it with you guys, so I'm doing an unboxing video for you guys today. This one does not start until 2019, and so I will not be able to give this a test drive until that time, but I will do a review video once I have used the system a little bit. I'm really excited to show this to you guys, so let's go ahead and dive into the unboxing and first impressions. So I ended up getting 2 boxes because I used referral credits and I forgot to ask them ahead of time to make me a larger denomination, so I can only get up to $100 on rewards certificate at a time, and so I placed 2 separate orders to use the most amount of credit that I could. So I do have 2 boxes. Now I don't remember the boxes being this fancy last year, but they are printed on and fancy, and they've got the feather logo on there. And so I've got 2 boxes to share with you guys. And so for this first one, we've got the welcome guide. It talks about, you know, the planners and the podcast and all sorts of things in there. And they always wrap things really nicely, and you can hear there's a thunderstorm going right now, but I want to go ahead and do this unboxing so that I can actually get these out and play with them. So looking through here, I've got most of my order in this box, it looks like. I placed 1 large order and then a smaller order, and so I got all the components for the disc bound system. So here you can see everything's wrapped up nicely. It was wrapped in the bubble wrap and everything looks to be just right. They usually include one of these, possibly more than one of these cards in there. These ones don't feel like the same kind of like letterpress paper as they used to be, but they still are foiled. So let's go ahead and get both packs of stuff out here. We can walk through everything I got. Those are the discs for my system. Getting the disc-bound system, this is a new thing for Inkwell Press, and I'm really excited about it. I have used the Staples Arc planner before, which is disc-bound. I've also gotten a Happy planner in the past as well, and this is supposed to be like one step up from that. I've heard that the really nice disc-bound planners are much smoother than the Happy planners as far as turning the pages and putting pages in and out. It really depends on your paper thickness and how the arcs or disc pieces are punched. These are metal discs, which I'm excited about. So I ended up getting silver. They do also have gold. To show you what they look like, I can hear them clanking around. But they're actually pretty weighty. They're really just pretty. They look like brushed nickel as far as the look of it. I've got my rings there, and you do have to buy every component separately. And so it does seem to add up. The first time I spent about $145, but I ended up getting one thing that wasn't related to the disc-bound system, which I'll walk through everything. Again, it had the other things. Since I have 2 orders, I got another card talking about the Share the Love giveaway. You have to use their hashtag and show off your new goodies in order to win. And then also a little card that talks about their system. So this is the Livewell 360 system, which is the discs. So the only thing that I got that wasn't involved with the disc-bound system, or the Livewell 360 program, that's what they're calling it, is this, which is a fitness planner. If you've watched any of my videos, I've been working on losing a little bit of weight, toning up, and getting a little more active and stuff, so I ended up getting this one. I'll flip through that at the end. I want to just show you guys all these components so that I can play around with it a little bit. I ended up getting 2 sets of covers. I don't see the other cover that I got. Here it is. I wanted to try out their vegan leather cover, which just looking at it, it looks really nice. You get a front and a back cover. And there's the back. It says Inkwell Press Productivity Co. established 2014. So they were wrapped up really nicely, and looking at it, it looks really beautiful. And it feels really nice, and I don't know if you're going to pick up on the texture there, but hopefully you guys can see a little bit of the texture. It's not really noticeable, but something I do notice is I have a little bit of the thread there that's kind of snagged, so I can work on trying to cut that a little bit better. That, you know, that's the front cover, so I am kind of disappointed in seeing something like that wasn't picked up from quality control there. I think this cover was $19, so I mean, for $19 for just a cover, I don't know, that doesn't seem very nice. And of course, you know, the thread's gonna have to be threaded, but to have that on the front cover, kind of disappointing. Other than that, like, the stitch work looks really good, and I can see on the back cover there's another spot where, you know, the string's gonna be put together, but they could cut it a little bit closer than that so it's not as noticeable. So anyway, there's the cover. It is vegan, if you're interested. It's a vegan fake leather, but it looks really nice. And then the other cover I got was the teal option. They always have the wood grain, and I wanted to get this one because I thought it would look good with the silver. So there's the covers, again with the, oops, flip it like this for you guys. Again with the logo there. And there's the inside. It does look just like the other planners. They are thick, and then this part is a kind of a flimsy plastic that seems pretty rigid, so they should clip in and out pretty easily. And then more cards. I did get a pin loop. So there it is. You can just stick it where you want it. I got a thing of the new stickers for this year. I've never gotten their stickers before, but I wanted to go ahead and try them out. They do feel really, really, really flimsy and thin. You've got some different arrow shapes, the hexagons, and then little dots. You can use those like little checklist things. So they come in all the 4 color combos. 2, then more of a greeny blue set. There's the last set. They're really pretty colors. They changed the colors around a little bit this year for the planner. And so I also got the Flex layout here. I'll walk through page by page, but I just wanted to feel the paper's pretty decent weighted paper. You can see the punches there. And I will compare this to my Happy Planner. I'll talk more about, you know, comparing the disc systems, and I'll compare it to the other planners that I plan on checking out for this 2019 year. And then so you order this separately, and then you also get the divider tab separately. And then I also ordered the meal planning kit separately too. So I'll walk through the pages separately for you guys for each one of these. So this is a year's worth of the meal planning pages, which is awesome. And then this is the year altogether, the 2019 year. It does have the monthly pages in here as well for 2019. And so you reuse the discs, you reuse the cover, you reuse the pin loop. You also will reuse the monthly tabs. So you're left with purchasing the $29 pack of pages for it. And then every year it's $29 or, you know, around that price. And so the system is expensive up front. You know, each individual piece was a lot. I'll add up how much I spent on this 360 planner itself. And then of course, you know, if you get the meal planner, that's separate as well. I don't know how much these were. I'll leave the price down here for you guys. So up front, it's very expensive. I feel like for a planner, it's pricey, but a lot of it's reusable, which I like. So I will go ahead and walk through this for you guys. This is laminated, so I'm gonna try to just pull it from the back, and we'll walk through it real quick. I'll zoom in for you guys so you guys can see. So we've got the, you know, the main page where you put your info in case you lose your planner, important dates, the planning. There are a lot of goal setting related things. There's also a set of goal setting pages that you can purchase as well. So there's all the different categories: personal, social, financial, health, home, and dream big. And then you plan it out. You break it into 3-month increments, what you want to get done each quarter. And then 2019, and then it moves into January. So you get your mission board, your monthly. So you've got a section for top 5 notes, and then it shows you the next month at a glance. And then I ended up getting the Flex, which is the horizontal. They also have Classic, which is the columns. So it looks very similar to last year. They changed the fonts a bit, but you still have the weekly focus section and a notes section and the 3 boxes, and you get a gradient of the color. And so all month will be the same color, all month long. And then you move into the end of the month, you get a 2-page dot grid there. And then, oh, I don't know if I got that for first month. No, I guess I guess this is supposed to be with January and then February starts here, where I was thinking, you know, this is February here. You don't get that page for the front section here for this part. So that's a little bit different, I think, than last year. I think possibly these were back to back after the monthly calendar, and I'll pull out the other one. We'll compare it at the end here, but you get the daily habit tracker, which is something that's carried over from last year, this whole section. So you get a focus box, decoration, ampersand, and then plan, and then you get your mission board, and you move into the next color combo. So there's 4 different color combos that rotate. That one has the aqua boxes for the month, going into the end of the month. Then you move into the 3rd color combo for March. And then you get the yellow for this month. Then there's the end of that. And this is the last color combo in April. And then they just rotate through the same 4 color combos. And this, you get the green. So the whole planner is like that all the way through till the end. It's very similar to last year's setup. So yeah, there's the last page. I guess the habit tracker goes at the end of the month, which I think is kind of odd. I think it should be at the beginning of the month. But as a disc system, you can change that. You can put one at the beginning of the month. So I'd probably take this one, put it in front of January, and then I'll have the 2 goal pages, you know, facing each other. So you get a quote, the gift list, which I have found that I don't actually use, and then the traveling section. You get 2 project planning pages, and you also can buy more project planning pages. You also get a bill tracker and a couple of grid pages in here. It looks like 2, 4, 6, and you can hear that thunder rolling, and 8. And then you're left with the 2020 calendar. It gives you the little calendar and then space to write future plans and dates. If you know of weddings or big things coming up for the future year, you can go ahead and jot them in here. It's got a full year of pages. This is only $29, so I could see this being a really economical choice in the end. You pay up front getting all the accessories and pieces, but then you reuse everything except this, which is great. I think it would work really well to reuse. The one thing I really loved about the ARC system was I could, you know, customize it. I really don't like the ring bound systems quite so much. The ones that are like the 3-hole punch style, I just find them not as easily changed. Like this one, you just take the page out, put it where you want. And so I will definitely be playing around with this, giving it a good test drive, and then doing a review video for you guys. And I will compare it with the other planner systems that I'm going to be looking at this year. So I think it's a really good option. I actually wasn't planning on getting an Inkwell press planner this year. So this is just a thing. When they announced the disc bound system, I'm like, yes, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a try and tell you guys about it and give you my opinion on it, because I have liked the disc bound in the past. I think when I first got into planner decorating, I got that Staples ARC planner that was disc bound and really liked that system. So I could see this being something that works for me really well. And so this one is the meal planner. I will walk through. It's just the same pages over and over again. Let's see, we'll open it from the back because this thing is laminated. And so here's the front. It's got your meals, and it gives you a place for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and you can rate the meal. So if you're trying something new, you can rate it. And then the source, if it's something that you picked off Pinterest or a website, you can put the week of date there. There's also a section for snacks and for notes, which is also nice. And then you get the grocery list on the back. And it looks like you're going to get the same kind of color combo system here. Let's see, is it just 4 colors? Yeah, you get the 4 colors. You get aqua, yellow, pink, and purple, and they just kind of fade into that color gradient. And the titles change too, so I'm sure they match the months. Ooh, that one's really pretty with the orange and the pink. And then the purple and blue. Okay, so the backs are going to be a little bit different too, I'm guessing. Yep, get different color backs too. Oops. All right. And then the last one, get the dark color on there. So you just get 52 pages, so you get a whole year of pages. And I think it'll be nice. The one thing I have to say about this, my one gripe with this is, of course, the layout. They're sideways. and I'm not a huge fan of that. So, you know, I'm using my planner like this. This is sideways, so that I think is kind of a fail in my opinion. I don't want to have to turn my whole book to be able to look at what I'm making. I find that kind of annoying. So I wish they would have found a better way to do this. But I think for, you know, for the first try, for the first time doing the disc system, there's always room for improvement. All right, I spent a few minutes putting in parts of the planner, and I wanted to show you guys about how it's set up. So I ended up using the leather cover, and I thought for a second, and I flipped the cover over, so the little snag is actually on the inside at the top edge, and I have the front that's pretty pristine. I didn't see any difference in the sides of the planner cover, so I just flipped it over and used the other side. So I have 6 months of the planner in here right now. It's just the flex pages and the divider tabs, and it is kind of wiggly and flimsy, and so I would recommend making sure that you bulk it up, because if not, the discs are all loosey-goosey, and you can see the wobble that I'm getting there. And so it's just not a very sturdy planner when you don't have it bulked up. So I would recommend putting in more than that. I find that the planners snapped in really nice and sturdy. The pages also snapped in really nicely and quickly, and I'll show you guys in a second. And the thing I said about earlier, how everything will hold up over time, I really wish that these were plastic. I don't know, I kind of assumed that they were going to be plastic. They are a very, very thin cardstock that's a glossy finish. I don't think these are going to hold up over time, so I think you'll eventually have to replace these, maybe after a year, maybe after a couple of years, but I don't think these are going to hold up over time. So I was hoping these would be, you know, thicker than they are so that they hold up really nicely. As far as turning it, it's a little bit cumbersome because I do have that, you know, wobbliness to it, but overall I think the page turning is pretty smooth. I mean, turning just one page can be a little bit tricky. You can't flip it like that and expect it to move. You have to really, like, I guess, pull the pages up so they're going around the ring. So it's a different thing than you're used to. If you're used to the spiral bound system, it does feel a little bit different, but they do end up turning really smoothly on this system, which I did not find with the Happy Planner. I find the Happy Planner does not turn so smoothly, and it has to do with the cuts. These cuts on the pages are a little bit different. And so I ended up putting all the way through June in here, and I am gonna add more to my planner, and I thought I would add in the meal pages in between the months or in between the weeks. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna use those yet. And so one thing I wanted to show you guys, actually, walking through, it is harder to turn a big chunk like that. So it makes sense how it's done, where this planning page is at the end. So you can flip right to it when you're hitting the other tab. So I showed you guys how it's actually probably supposed to be set up to where that's actually part of January and then you move into February here. But I ended up setting up my pages a little bit different. So I showed you guys how that's set up. And then from April on, I went ahead and put the dot grid page here so that I have my planning pages at the beginning of the month all together. So I know why they did it, so you get that actual note page in the end of the month. But I think it works much better having these two pages together at the beginning of the month. So that's how I set up my pages moving forward. So I'll end up changing those two pages out. I guess we could do that here on camera and see how easy it is to change things in and out. So you just kind of pull it out, and I'm gonna just move it one page over. You just used my finger like that and popped both sides of the section in at a time. So not too bad. So that page is set up, and then we gotta move this page, get it started, and it just kind of pops out. So these pages are nice weighted pages. So I feel like they, you know, will pop in and out without a problem for the most part. So you just move pages in and out pretty painlessly. Moving to the end here, I'll show you guys how I popped in the pages. I didn't pop them in one at a time. I popped in quite a few at once. So let's see, this is going to be all of June. I'm going to save this page for July and put the July protector in here. I find the same thing. I start one side and then pop it in. I'm sure there's like a nicer, easier way to do this, but that's just the way I'm doing it. So there's that page. And then let's see, we've got July, so I just grab a little chunk of the pages. I actually have most of July. I was going to see maybe if I could do the whole month. So here's a whole month. I'll move this page over to here. Just pop in the whole month. So I get it started on one side and just pop it in. And then I'm ready to put my page protector for August. Oops. And I also find the more pages you already have in, the easier it is to keep these steady. You can see it, I don't know, it's not wobbling quite as much now because I'm getting a little bit more bulk into the planner. And so there's August. Oopsie, here's a misprint. I'll show you guys. I think this was misprinted here, so it goes directly, oh no, maybe not. Yeah, okay. It is a misprint. So here's August. You go to the last day of August and you move right into the planning page. There's no 2 dot grid pages here, so that was a misprint. And so this one will have to be combined in with August here because I don't have those 2 dot grid pages between them to kind of play with it. There we go. That's interesting. So that's the first page I've seen as far as a misprint. And I don't want to put the whole year in. I mean, I want to show you guys what the whole year in the planner looks like, but I also don't want to because I want to put those meal planning pages in as well. Okay, so the next month does have the dot grid pages, so maybe it's just the one month that's wonky. There is September, I'm moving into October. So, I don't know, I spent maybe 5 minutes downstairs sitting watching football, getting the planner started, and then I thought I would show you guys. It's pretty simple to get it all set up, so maybe the whole process is going to take me, you know, 10 minutes or so. And I had the camera, and I'm talking to the camera as well, so if you actually were sitting here concentrating on it, it might be a lot quicker. All right, there is November. We're almost to the end. Also, I want to mention, so far, there's only one size of these. So I know the Happy Planner, you can get bigger coils or smaller coils. You can't do that with this one yet. You have to buy a different brand if you want to make the coils bigger. All right, so here is all of November. And then the last protector here, or not, the last monthly tab is going in. And then the last parts of the planner here. And so some of these pages I probably won't keep, but for this video's purpose, I'm going to go ahead and stick all of the pages in so we can see how thick it is. And since that is a really big chunk on these last pages, I'm going to split it into 2 chunks to stick in the planner. Because you can't put a ton of pages in at once because the pages won't open up very well if you do too many. Okay, 1 chunk, and then all of this I probably would keep out aside from this last page. But for video's sake, I'm going to go ahead and put the whole thing together. So this is how it's intended, a year planner with the page protectors. And you can see, we'll see how bulky it is, if it's actually too much or it'll actually work nicely. Flipping the whole thing over. I don't know, it doesn't sit quite flat. I don't know if you guys can see that. Holding it up, it does not sit flat. So it is a little bit too bulky. You may have to take out a month or so to make it so that the cover does not bounce like that. You guys can see, here's it flat. Oh, nope, it's still popping up a little bit. So aside from that, like the pages are turning fine. And you can grab a big chunk of it. Let's see, just grab one page at a time. They turn really smoothly. Like I was not sure what to expect, but it turns really smoothly. I'm happy with that part of it. So I would just say you probably shouldn't put the entire year in. And of course, you know, if you're buying a system like this, you're going to want to put other pages in too. So you'll probably take out a few months, put in the other pages that you want. Like I want to put the meal planning pages. I don't know if I'm going to put it between each week or put a couple at the beginning of the month so I can kind of plan out the whole month at once. But it definitely is something you're going to want to, you know, customize and add more pages to, add note papers to. Now, I saw that they do not have a punch, so I don't know if they're going to be making a punch. I haven't watched any of the videos, so if you guys know if they've talked about the punch itself, let me know in the comment section down below. But I would hope that they would come out with a punch because theirs is different. This notch is different than the We Are Memory Keepers Happy Planner punch. So I don't know what punch they recommend, if they have a punch that they recommend. But that's something I would be interested in because I want, you know, lined pages. I want to be able to print my own pages because I can design my own pages and make them as well. So I would like to have that ability, but if I don't have the punch, then I'm kind of not with that option. I would really like all the punches to be the same. I do find that, you know, the more pages you have, the less wobbly these are. They're much more sturdy now with them all in here, so it's not loosey-goosey as much. And I really like the way that it looks. I love the way the discs look. I think it's really beautiful, especially the silver ones. And you can hear Olivia down there with her daddy being goofy. Okay, now I wanted to take a minute to compare the systems. So I've got the new Livewell 360 disc bound system, and I've got two of the coil-free bound planners. So these are actually offered in the 2019 as well. You will get the option again for the daily, which I don't know if it looks any different. I haven't actually looked at the new one, but I'm sure it's about the same as this daily. So there's the daily. You'll get this option in the coil-free like this one, where it's got the wood grain front and also the refill pages for here. So it'll be able to fit in the disc bound. We also have the spiral bound. It's a bigger spiral than this one, obviously, but it's the double O wire like this. So I wanted to compare the pages. I have the 2018 Flex versus the 2019 Flex in here. I've got this set up to all the pages through August, and I just have it set up here. I took that last page from December and stuck it in the front so that I have my mission board stuff together. I always have those two pages together, even though it's not really set up like that. That's what's so awesome about this system. You can take pages out and plug and chug. And so I'll show you guys also what I did. I've got the month, and then between each week I have a meal planner. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go as far as like planning the week. I can always just take this one in and out as I'm trying to, you know, plan for the entire week and then pop it back in so that I can use it. So I'm thinking like Monday through Thursday, I'll have it set up like this so I can see my meals, see my planning, and then I'll take it out and turn it the other way so that when I'm looking at this, let's see, they're pretty easy to pop in and out. Then I can just plug it in like this for Friday through Sunday, still have my meal planner here. And again, like I said earlier, my main gripe with this is the sideways factor. I really, like the little OCD type A part of my brain hates that this is sideways. Like I just cannot stand that it's sideways. So I don't know if over time that's something I want to get used to. I might trash the whole idea, I don't know. I really wish it was this way, and I'm sure they could have figured out some sort of way to make it, you know, lined up the right way so that all the pages are the same orientation. But that's just my like type A gripe about it. So hopefully they won't do that in future updates. I can't believe they did that, honestly. Had I not had referral credits, I probably would not have purchased the meal things, but I really wanted to show it to you guys because it is an option and it goes really well with the system. You can see I can just plug them in and out as needed and rotate them how I want them. One thing I've thought since filming the other part, I'm actually filming this comparison part a different day than I filmed the rest of this video. The other thing I thought was I could get different monthly tabs. I was thinking about how I use a planner myself. I really like the monthly tab to be actually on the month. There's going to be a couple of problems with that. So if I were to put my monthly tab on the month, obviously it wouldn't be a reusable tab, like these dividers are reusable, but I would be able to easily flip to the actual month that I'm on. So for my system now, I actually have been using this for my planning. It's the Flex, but you can see I have my Ollie clip there. I can't show you for privacy reasons, but I have my pages clipped to where I'm flipping from my week to my month with that Ollie clip. So it'll be clipped like this, and I can flip to both ones depending on what I want to see. I really like that. My problem with that though is these pages are closed into that Ollie clip at all times. So I have to take the clip off to be able to see the two pages. I actually don't use these all that much at the current moment. I have in the past, but then they're closed up in here. Whereas if I get a divider tab and stick it to where I can easily flip to the month, then these two pages are ahead of that. And so that'll be kind of weird flipping back. So either way, it's not entirely ideal. So I thought I would just try to, have the divider tabs here so I can easily, flip to the first pages and then use the Ollie clip to flip between my weekly and my monthly view. So that's just what I'm thinking about as kind of future planning here. So let's go ahead and compare the 2018 to the 2019 layout. And I flipped to a month. And you can see the color combos are going to be a little bit different. For argument's sake, let's go ahead and flip to February. So we've got February, and I noticed that this is the mission board, then the habit tracking page. Whereas this one, it was separate where only this page is in the beginning, and then at the end of the month, they actually had the habit tracking page. So you can see it's a little bit different of a setup. The way I have it laid out, I have the two pages next to each other where they're just flipped from the previous year. And the color combos are a little bit different and tweaked, but the basic layout is the same. I actually do really like the fonts that they seem to be using for the 2019 year. I just think it's a lot cleaner and crisper than the more frilly font, although I think the frilly font is beautiful. And so flipping to the monthly view here, I have to actually go back in this planner. So the month looks about the same. And looking at the page size, they're actually the same size pages. We still have the top 5 notes and the month. It's just the fonts are different, and the color combos are a little bit different. There's still a little bit of a decorative design at the top, although the design's a little bit tweaked as well. But overall, the same kind of look. And then let's see, flipping to the week page. Of course, different color combo, but the font is updated. I like that they moved the dates up a little bit, and I actually prefer it saying FEB versus the 2, where here it says 2/3. These say February, whatever. I actually prefer this, and I like that it's up because I feel like with this one, I'm a bit, type A. I want everything lined up, so I feel like I lose these top 2 lines because if I write on this line, I'm writing into that date part, and so I usually would start my writing there and I'm losing those 2 lines, which kind of annoys me. Whereas on this one, I would only be losing the 1 line up there. I still wish that they would figure a way to not tick up that line. I don't know, I just don't really love that right there. But all in all, it looks basically the same. You're left with the same, 3 boxes, the dotted decorative lines everywhere separating the sections. You still have weekly focus and notes. It's just a tiny bit tweaked because of those fonts. But all in all, it looks pretty much the same. So I wanted to just compare the layouts. And so one of the things I thought about doing was also buying the daily pages to show them to you. But for my own practical purposes, I use these daily pages sometimes when Olivia's in preschool and she's only in preschool a couple of days a week. I can try to unbind this. They are sewn together. Let's see, I'm trying to find like the middle of a section. So they are sewn together. I could just snip that and try to take these pages out and punch them myself and be able to use these exact pages. So if you have an old bound one, they are the same size. Like these pages are identical. I'll take one out and show you guys The pages are the same size, so you definitely could take them out of your old bound ones if you have other pages that you want to use, especially these daily ones are undated, so I could totally get away with doing that and punching them myself, although I'd have to find a punch that matches these ones. I can see myself buying different tabs for this, you know, like I said, to be able to flip the tab and go straight to that monthly page, which I really like to do. But as I'm saying that, I don't have any dividers in this, and I've made do with just that Oli clip, and it's been really fine. I've used this for the last little bit. I've been using my Erin Condren Hourly that I just got. I've been using it for something different. So this has been my like day-to-day to-do list style thing. And I'll tell ya, I'm not going to show it for privacy reasons because I have like doctor's information. We've been doing a lot of doctor's stuff lately, but I've been using this for appointments and scheduling things, and then this for my daily to-do list and tasks and cleaning stuff. Anything timed goes in these boxes. So it's been really nice to be able to like look at this, and if I have an appointment heavy day, then I do my errands a different day. And I make sure I don't have more than like 3 things per day to make sure I'm not like running myself ragged. So there's like only 3 appointments at most, or 3 errands at most to put in those boxes to keep each day kind of balanced. But I've really liked using that. And so that's why I ended up buying these pages. I'm usually a columns girl. So really quick, I just want to walk you through this one. This is the B12 Fitness Blog, and I think this is only for part of the year. I don't think this is enough to get you through an entire year. I think it said, yeah, 12 weeks. So I think this is only set up to be used for 12 weeks. So walking through, you get your battle plan. What do you want? Here's your starting measurements and weights. You get a plan of attack here for the week, and I do love this setup here with the little checkbox so you can check off your workout. All right, so they are working on a box fort down there. I just realized I think they're going to be really loud now, so I closed the door, but you're still going to hear them goofing off. So there is the look at it a little bit better. So I love this. You can check off the boxes. I think I'll use that a bunch. I just love that page. And then you get one of these today's focus pages for every day. And I just really don't know how much of the stuff I'm going to track as far as, you know, calories. I don't like to calorie count. So I probably won't use the calorie section, but I can plan out my meals and my snacks. And I do kind of stick to this: breakfast, snack 1, lunch, snack 2, dinner, and late snack. I probably don't have this, you know, morning snack, but Olivia does. So I could definitely plan out her and my menu here, and that would work out really nicely. By the time I actually start using this, I'll have an Apple Watch too, so I can track some of this stuff and put it in here. I would like to be able to keep track of my steps. I don't know if there's a place for steps, but this weight training section will be really nice. I don't do actual weights, but I do some sort of fitness stuff that's more like using my body as the weight. So I could definitely keep track of the action reps and sets of those. So I really just love the way that this looks. It's nice and clean, and I love the idea of, you know, keeping track of it and trying to stay motivated. And so it looks like you switch through some colors here. Let's see. Blue. Okay, it looks like you get check-in here. So that should be 4 weeks worth of pages. You get your week 4 check-in. You kind of outline how it went for those 4 weeks. Motivation, and then your monthly check-in here. So then you take your measurements again after 1 month, and then you move into a different color scheme for the daily pages. And you get, I don't know, there might be a every week check-in. Let's go back. I might have gotten ahead of myself here. Yeah, okay, so you get a week check-in where you just kind of check in with yourself. Workouts this week felt blank. Did you meet your weekly goals? The good news, the not so good news, and what you're going to focus on the next week. So you do get those weekly check-ins along with the monthly check-in. And at the monthly check-in, they switch colors. That's what it looks like. And so, let's see. Week 8 check-in, we should be getting to the monthly check-in. So there's month 2 check-in, and then you switch to the pink, which I actually really like the pink. Week 12 fitness goal accomplished. So you write in your before, your today measurements. You check in with yourself with some of that stuff. Here's a calories burned chart. Here's your portion sizes for things. It also gives you 100-calorie snack ideas, which is cute. So you got a sweet side and a savory side, which is great. And then that's the end. So I'm really not sure how in depth I'm going to go with this. I'll definitely use this as a rough guide. I especially really like this page to kind of plan out your whole 12 weeks so you can really attack your fitness goals. I'm not sure how hardcore I'm going to go on these daily pages, and especially I will not be doing this 7 days a week. I just know myself, I'm not going to stick with it like that, but maybe weekdays I could do 5 days a week or something like that. But I do like the check-in pages. I like the keeping track of things from week to week and then checking it every month. It's just something I thought I would get to try to help me stay motivated with that getting healthy and getting toned thing. I think that's it for this initial unboxing and first impressions video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have my referral info down below. I think it gives you a $10 off coupon if you're new to Inkwell Press. I have used their planners for the last 2 years. I've had their planners, so I do recommend them. I do love their paper quality. The company really seems to just go above and beyond. I've loved their customer service. I've had a couple little minor website problems here and there, and they've been really fast to respond, really fast to help me out anytime I have issues with anything. And so it's a company that I feel comfortable standing behind, and their productivity and goal setting podcast and information is just really great. I'm in one of their productivity groups on Facebook. I'll link to that down below as well. I think you have to ask to join that group. But I just really love what this company stands for and how they motivate us to be productive and use our time wisely and all that good stuff. So I can't recommend them enough. As far as this planner goes, I have to really give it a test drive to see if it's something that's going to work for me. I think the quality is there. I'm just not sure how I'm gonna like it or use it. I've got a couple other planners coming as well that I will talk about. I'll review this over time and see how it's holding up and everything. And I will do some comparison videos for you guys because I'm sure if you are used to happy planners, this is a little bit different. So I will talk about that in a separate video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do plan on doing more planner videos. I know a lot of people come here for the planner videos and I've been kind of lame with those lately, but I really want to get back into those because I just love planner stuff. And so I've ordered quite a few planners to talk about and review and play around with. And I hope you guys will stick around for that. So give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you can follow me along, and I will catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.